Hello, good people, once again. Summer is coming. Now, while true, it's spring right now. In fact, the first day of spring happened last month. It's April as I record this. And while true, the first day of summer will not happen until June, I am preparing now for what model I will be using for summer driving because heat is a concern. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. It gets hot here. Yes, it does. So I have to plan for this a little earlier compared to some other parts of the United States. And the model I will most likely go with is this one, the Drive 52MT. But why? Well, I'm going to explain that. But before I do, little information about capacitive screens. The best capacitive screen models I have ever used from Garmin have been the 2589, 2599, DriveSmart 50, DriveSmart 55, DriveSmart 65 with Alexa, DriveSmart 66, and the current model I use, DriveSmart 76. So why would I go from a large 7-inch screen, DriveSmart 76, to this, to a 5-inch? Well, heat. That is the reason. Capacitive screens are great. They are clearer with their displays, have more resolution. You can do pinch to zoom, whereas you cannot on this one. But the trade-off is heat. They just run hotter. That's just the way it is. Yeah. And because all Garmin automotive models have a battery, well, if you have capacitive screen, hot summer driving, battery, not very smart. Okay, let me rephrase that. You obviously have to use the thing while driving, but for example, if you were to go to a grocery store and you have to use their parking lot and there is no shade whatsoever, you have to park your car in the open. Well, you should not leave your Garmin attached to the mount on the windshield, because even just sitting there on a hot summer afternoon, that can legitimately damage the unit to the point where it just will not power on. It just would, and possibly never again. It's bad. And that's an extreme example. So most of you, my viewers, you would know that if you were going to park in a situation like that, hot summer day, you would take the screen off its mount and put it under the driver's seat, or maybe in the center console, little cubby storage area, maybe in the glove box, somewhere. You get it out of the sun so that when you come back to the car after you have done your errands, okay, I plug it back in and turn the air conditioning on and I go on my way. You guys already know that. But even during driving, the capacitive screen can work against you. Because on particularly long journeys, even if you've got the air conditioning running, even if you have the air conditioning running and the windows rolled down, the sun is still coming through that windshield and it's hitting the back of this thing, and sunlight acts through the windshield, acts like a lens. Yeah. For example, if you took your smartphone and any navigation app of your choosing, and you got a mount and you put the phone on a windshield mount on a hot summer day during driving, you may get 10 to 15 minutes out of that before your phone will overheat, give a warning, and shut down. It is not designed, absolutely not designed to be used in that manner. I actually learned that one the hard way. Now, fortunately, I did not damage my phone. I was like, oh, I guess we should not do that. And I have not done it since. That was when I was experimenting with trying something other than Garmin's. Obviously, I went back to using a Garmin and stayed there, and I'm okay with that. But when you use capacitive, it generates heat, and you've got an electronic device uses a battery. Yes, heat. It's a problem, and it is at its worst during summer driving. So you get a match screen. Aha, okay. Now, before getting into this one in particular, because I have covered it before, some of the other older Garmin's, as in older than this one, the best ones I have ever used for matte screens that have bright screens for daylight readable are the Nuvi 1490, 2455, 2555, 2595, and the Essentials models Nuvi 40 and 50. The 40 in particular is the only one that outdoes this screen. There is something about the Nuvi 40, I don't know what it is, that when Garmin made that one, wow, what a screen. It's a 4.3 inch. It is smaller, but whew, amazing brightness. I have 4 of those, and they all still work, and they are all still have, excuse me, that was not a proper sentence. They all still have bright daylight readable screens. They have not failed. And those things are from 2012, 2011 possibly. Amazing. But I use this one instead because the Nuvi 40 is sparse with features. I have covered it here before in previous videos. Not a lot of features, whereas this one does. And okay, so let's get into this. Now, although I have a few 52s, wow, are these things cheap on eBay now? Even for the MT like this, I have seen them on eBay selling used for as little as $20. I remember when these things were over 100. Then I remember when they were 80, and then 60, 50. Now, yeah, you can get these things for as little as $20, and it's yours. Wow, nice. This has the brightest matte screen for daylight reading, only outdone by the Nuvi 40, as I mentioned a moment ago. The speaker in this guy, oh, by the way, the reason it just went dark, it's going through a tunnel right now. Whenever you see that, that's a feature of the map data. When you go through a tunnel, it will temporarily go to the dark mode and then go back to day mode, as you just saw. Anyway, the speaker in this thing, even if you drive with air conditioning on, windows rolled down, when you turn the speaker up on this guy, you can hear it. That's good. It does not have voice control, but that's okay, because it just does the job it's supposed to do. The route calculation is not as quick as the DriveSmart 66 and 76, but it is what I consider to be acceptable. I'm okay with it. This right here, the turns feature, which you enable that once you start a route, you press the little triple dot menu and then turns, and you get turns. Wow, I love this feature so much. I have said that before. Yes, love it. Which again, the Nuvi 40 does not have. Now, it does require a 32 gig memory card, which you do have to buy separate to fit all the modern United States map data on this. This still can be updated with Garmin Express, yes. And another thing is that, and I will have this linked as the pinned comment, you can use a generic USB power lead with this, not a computer cable. You can't use that to power this thing, but you can get a rather inexpensive, as an under $10 cable to plug into the back of this, and then you are good to go. It will power it, and yes, you on the MT model, it will power the traffic receiver, meaning you do not need to use the bulky Garmin charger. You do not, which would be the TA20. You do not have to use a TA20 with this, although you could. If yours comes with one, or you already have one, or a GTM 36 You could use that, but you don't need to. You could just use the generic power lead and it will work with no problem. And again, don't use a regular computer data cable, because if you do and you send too much power through it, it will fry this thing. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Believe me, the USB power lead, you'll notice that on the listings for that it says you cannot do data sync with this thing, meaning no data can be transferred through the cable. The reason for that is because there's a slight little pin swap, and that is how, just like the Garmin charger, which is how this thing is powered. Like, okay, that's why, that's the difference. Yes, that is the difference. It might look exactly the same as a data cable, but it is not, because it has that little pin swap that you cannot see. So yes, you do need to do that. But yes, when the weather gets a little too hot under the collar, this guy. Because I want matte. I want bright. I want audio I can hear. Yes, I lose the voice control. Admittedly, that's a bit annoying, but I could get used to that. I want reliability. I want it to be relatively easy to use. Yeah, and it is. I want it to be legible. Yeah, that is the last part I will end on. The two things, both of which you're seeing right now, the two things that make this thing a little bit difficult to read, certainly not this or this. These are fine. It's right here and right here. That is a little small. It's a little small. And, well, it's not here anymore, but when you saw the little exit number, also a little small. But that is really all I can complain about when it comes to this. I mean, yes, the resolution is only 480 by 282, but it's a 5-inch, and Garmin's, the majority of 5-inch screens from Garmin are like that. Now, yes, there is the Drive 53, but that's a capacitive. And I'm like, no. And I honestly believe this is more legible than the 53. Now, I have not used the 53 in person. I might buy one later because I can get one for $60 right now. I'm waiting for them to go under 50. That's my, because I'm cheap, you know. So once it gets under 50, I'll probably go for it. Unless I get impatient, then I'll just spend the extra $10 and get it for 60. And, and another thing too is that the majority of Drive 53s are the non-traffic models, which I could enable traffic by plugging in a GTM 3.6, but I don't want to do that. I want it to have the built-in traffic receiver, like this one where it says built-in traffic receiver. That's another thing, is that the fact that you can get the 52 for $20, it's amazing to get it for so cheap. You can get this for $20, and it's got the built-in traffic receiver. And the crazy thing is that there are other models that don't have the traffic receiver that sell for way more. Did Garmin make too many 52s? Maybe. But you're seeing it work right now. This thing works fine. The reason I have 4 of them is because they're cheap. I was able to, I mean, okay, the first one, yeah, I spent like $80 on that first one. It was because it was under 6 months old at the time. But now, these, wow. So for a summer GPS, if you would, yeah, 52. Trying to think if there's anything else I can say about it. No, not really. I mean, it's a matte. There are limitations to matte, but for a summer use, yeah, get a 52.